Hi, everyone. Welcome to Humanity Chats. It is Thursday. Oh my goodness, the week flew by so fast. Earlier today, we had a conversation with Dr. Kimry Martin, an author a physician and author out of Charlotte, North Carolina. We talked about her books. She's the author of 3 books, The Queen of Hearts, The Antidote for Everything, and an upcoming novel, Doctors and Friends. Check her out. She is everywhere books are sold, online, in stores. And check out that conversation. It's on YouTube and it is available on our podcast as well. If you're here, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Over 200 cities on our podcast. Yes, that is amazing. We do this because of you. And 25 countries? I don't know, guys. You are the absolute best. My name is Margie Marge. I am your hostess. This evening, we're going to be talking to a gentleman called Smitha Lee. Look, you are going to be impressed with this gentleman. He has done so much. I was impressed to learn about him. He's a director, producer. He's a photographer. And I mean, his photos are like the stuff that you see in movies. Like I watched Crazy Rich Asians and the wedding scene in there, all those things that they have floating. Well, that's Smitha for you. He works in film and media and the media industry. He has written, guess what, 7 plays. And all those plays have sold out on each occasion. His last original production, Chocolate Cinderella, which played at the Chapman Cultural Center in 2019, sold out every single show with 1,000 in attendance. I mean, if it wasn't for this pandemic, we don't know what he would have done in 2020. On the film aspect, his films have been accepted to 25 different film festivals. 25, guys. In 2019, he won his first major category, Music Video of the Year, from the Carolina Film Festival. Between his marketing videos and production videos, Smitha Lee has received well over 3.8 million views between Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. He lives in the USA. He started out as a dancer and actor for various productions in South Carolina, and his love of storytelling brought him into film and photography. Oh my goodness, wasn't that amazing just hearing about Smitha? I cannot wait for us to actually listen to him. He's going to shed a light on his creativity. And then guess what? He will tell us about fatherhood. And we are going to wrap it up with Juneteenth. Yes, June 19th is coming up. And Juneteenth has been declared a federal holiday. Praise be to God. And so without much further ado, we're going to go back to the green room. And we are going to find Smitha. Guys, if you are here, as I said, invite someone because you will be inspired. This is Humanity Chats with Margie. We do this on Thursday. We get together and we talk about everyday issues that impact humans. Now, you know, that's everyday conversations. Our topics range from speaking to authors, to creatives, to doctors, to mamas, to papas. We talk about everything under the sun. And so if you're here and you're new today, what do? You hit that subscribe button because you're going to keep coming back to hear all of the conversations that we've been having. Thank you so much, everyone. Let us know where you're watching from. Invite a friend. Thank you. And we're going to be bringing Smitha into the house.
Hey.
Hello.
That's an amazing introduction. I was like, I wish I could just have her in my back pocket every single time I have to go somewhere.
Well, sometimes when you hear other people introduce you, it always sounds like they're talking about somebody else.
Correct.
Because it's like you were probably listening, you're like, whoa, that guy got his movies accepted where? Oh my goodness, he is taking photos like movies. I mean, I have seen some of your creations and I look at it and I'm like, this is out of the world. Is this in America? Is this Bangladesh? You never know where Smitha is.
Yes.
Welcome to our show. This is Humanity Chats. We do this on Thursdays. We get together and we talk about everyday issues that impact humans. We are blessed to have you here with us today. And I bet the listeners and viewers would like to know a little bit more about you, from you, in your own words, not the ones that I was saying. And please remember to share a fun fact with us as well.
So, I am a creative. I'm the oldest of 7. That's one of the craziest things. A lot of people like, oh man, he's like, how many brothers and sisters you have? Like, I have 7. I'm oldest of 7. Husband. I have one little one at the moment. And I say all those things because my family is literally my foundation, that they have been the ones that have supported me for the longest, even when it came to, so far as with my mom actually helping and supporting my career. Like after college, like I went back home. Usually, people move off, go this where and that where. But I actually went back home because it helped me to actually build my media company. I was able, within, a freshly grad out of college, within 3 years, I was able to save up over $65,000 that I placed within my media company. Literally just not having to spend a lot, still living like a broke college student up until my, I think like 25, 26 before I moved back out. So my family is really a foundation to where I started. So that's why I always honor them starting off in anything that I do, because I wouldn't be here without them.
Wow. What a blessing. What a blessing. You must have a wonderful family too. And to have been able to go back home and save that much money, that is really great. You had some good home cooking during this time as well.
Definitely.
Well, share a fun fact with us. Maybe something fun happened during those years that you were staying home.
Okay, so I would say a fun fact. I'm a natural storyteller. I love stories, and I'm a huge anime lover. Huge. Also, there's this other thing that I used to love a lot, but I'm not too much that fun of now, because the storytelling aspect within it just kind of went a different way. But I was a really huge wrestling addict. I love wrestling. So I was still playing with wrestling action figures up until 9th, 10th grade. So, which is weird, I'm this full teenager still playing with action figures, but I just love the storytelling aspect of it. And it still kind of helps build in my creative mind now, going back towards those days. So fun fact, of anyone, if it ever is a flashcard or something, hey, what does Smitha still play with, up until 9th and 10th grade? It's wrestling action figures.
Well, you know what? I'm with you. Yours is 9th and 10th grade. Well, even when I was out of college, I used to watch The Undertaker.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. WWF. I mean, I was all into it, and I'd be standing behind the TV, and I'd be jumping like I'm about to go wrestle. That was so. I don't even know why I did that. I like to think that I didn't do that, but yeah, really, I did. Yeah. We have something in common. We really do have something in common. That's amazing. Yeah, and that is a true fun fact. Look, I don't even know where to begin with your career. You are into so many things. You are a director, producer, and a photographer. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should start with your directing. debut. Would you want to tell us about that? Yes.
I will say one of the biggest things with my directing debut, I was hired on as a creative with Dr. Keith McDaniel. So there is a book that he's releasing, and I, helped direct the documentary that's going to that, which would be my first feature film. So I'm very, very excited about that, and that coming out within the next couple of weeks and everything, and everyone be able to view that. So outside of that, I have been blessed to have multiple different opportunities, either i.e. directing music videos, commercials, films, and I just love the storytelling aspect of film itself. I've always gravitated towards film, and the reason because of that, because I love music, love sound, I love visuals, and film is one of those things. It's the only thing that kind of fine tunes and brings all of that together, where you can tell one creative voice with one language, but using multiple mediums all at the same time. So that's the big reason why I love and adore, and film and directing is always my first love. I'm really good at photography, love photography. I'm really good with producing, putting on plays, different things like that. Really good at that, but literally directing, that is my baby. That's at the end of the day, if I can do anything, that's always my lane.
Wow. That sounds amazing. And Jeremiah, one of your apprentices who is doing quite well these days.
Oh, Jerry.
Yes, yes. He was giving up those fire symbols, and he said he can't wait for that movie to come out. What a blessing it would be. Do you have any information that you would like to share with us, like a website that we should be looking out for, or do we just wait for it to drop?
Yes, so just wait for it to drop. I'm definitely going to have it on the homepage for the Smitha Lee. So if you go to smithalee.com, it's definitely going to be on the homepage when it does release. We're 90% done with everything. We're just fine tuning different visuals. So within the next 3 weeks, you all should see that. And he's having a live viewing in person, which would be great to have events in person, because I so miss those. That's going to happen. So far as the viewing of it, that's going to happen within the next couple of weeks as well. Also, I'm helping produce a play that's happening this weekend at the Chapman Culture Center called A Crying Shame. The leading actor in it, if you all are familiar with Tyler Perry, The Oval, Javon Johnson, he's the leading actor in that. So that's happening at the Chapman Culture Center, 3:00 show and a 7:30 show. And we're taping that, and that will be for release sometime in the fall. So that's going to be a really good one. If you're in the upstate area, if you have anything to do this weekend, that'll be an awesome opportunity just to see what creatives of the upstate can do.
Well, that is really dope. I met Javon. I had an interview with Rhonda Rollins a few years ago, and I met Javon, and I was like, oh, I met somebody from Tyler Perry's show. And so, at that time, I had just released my book, Viewers. I'm an author. I have 3 amazing books out there in the universe. And so, I just went back. I was like, Rhonda, can you hold my phone? I held my book. I'm like, Javon, let's do this. And I took a picture with him, and I was showing it to my relatives, like, yeah, that is somebody from the Oval, y'all. I met a celebrity. And oh my goodness. Yes. So that is amazing that you're putting up that play this weekend. I wish you all the best. I'm so glad that things are opening back up. Now, would masks be required?
Still doing masks. We're still doing masks at the moment because still not everyone's vaccinated and everything. So yeah, we're still doing the masks, and however what way, people follow the vaccination thing. I don't get into all the politics, but just to protect everyone, because there will be older people there. We are still doing masks.
Well, viewers, listeners, you heard. If you're in the upstate area and you'd like to go to the Chapman Culture Center, take your mask with you because you might not be let in if you think you're going to walk in without your mask. Now, for other information about the upcoming film, go to smithalee.com. That is going on the ticker for those who are watching. For the podcast listeners, that's Smith, SMITHALEE.com. And go follow him on social media everywhere and learn about this amazing, amazing young man. Now, we're going to have to talk about your production. I know you have a play coming this weekend. Tell us a little bit more about your role as a producer.
So honestly, my role is more so on the marketing aspect, making sure the day-to-day things happen and everything is set to sell. So because Javon's the director writer. So literally on the day of, he's literally just has to roll in. So I'm taking, I help set up the website for the play, which you all can find that information at Bearfruit, South Carolina. Like bear and fruit, South Carolina, but it's like bear, which is crazy. When we were coming up with the name, I thought bear was spelled a different way, but it's actually like when you bear fruit, it's actually spelled the same way as a bear, which I was like, okay. Which it just never, I never put those two together, but Bearfruit, South Carolina, Bearfruit SC, where you can find the ticket information. And we set that up. We also, when it comes to, making sure people are coming, marketing as much as possible, getting flyers, all that stuff. So all the things that sometimes creatives like directors and actors, don't have the time for, it's basically what us producers are having to do.
Oh, well, we're learning. Now, did you say it's Bearfruits, as in BEAR?
Yes, BEAR fruit sc.com.
Okay. Well, that's it. Rolling on the ticker. The tickers are available at bearfruitsc.com. And so you go grab yourself a ticket from this producer. Oh wow. Okay. I'm gonna be taking lessons from you tonight. Now, photography.
Okay.
I can't wait to hear how you come up with those ideas. I mean, and I'm gonna use this example of me watching the film Crazy Rich Asians. And like close to the last scene, it was a wedding or something, and there was water. She was walking in the water or on the water or something. You are able to create these amazing, amazing scenarios. How do you do that?
So so my foundation of it is really Photoshop. That's a skill that has taken over years to perfect. My last really good creation two of the last ones. So I did a couple for my wife. One was when she's walking in roses. The next one was she was like in the Barbie box. And the other one before that was literally, it was like an Alice in Wonderland thing where we had like the flowers going up the dress and different things like that. I will say the daisies that went on the dress component, I had to have my mentor help me on that because I got so frustrated on wearing those because it's to make it look realistic. The crazy thing when it comes to Photoshop is that you have to make sure that it doesn't look like it's other photos that's placed together. It has to look like one unit. Like I'm actually seeing this. That's the trick of Photoshop, is not seeing that it's Photoshopped. So I was having some trouble on a couple of different layers. I called her up. I was like, hey, I need help. My wife's birthday is tomorrow. If you can spend like an hour, I just need you to help me layer these right quick. But other than that, like creating like so far as the silk, I pulled that from another Adobe shot. The chairs and stuff that was there, that was pulled from an actual Alice in Wonderland piece. So, and my wife herself, she was already in pink, so I can actually layer and recomposite everything in the pink component. And literally we just putting everything together bit by bit. Like I think in that one photo, there is around 22 different photos to composite that one photo. So it takes a while. It's like an 8-hour journey creating that shot. It was a while. I love the reception to it because I was like, it was a lot of work to put it together, but I love the end piece of it. You all can, if you're on Instagram, you can see it on my Instagram. It's the pink photo with the dress that's coming up with the daisy. So I think it's, to this point, it's probably one of my best work so far.
Well, I saw that and I was like, how did he do that? That picture belongs on the cover of a magazine. I mean, I saw it and I thought about all these magazine covers that, I had been seeing. And I actually saw the making of Amanda Gorman's cover. And
Mhm.
I thought about you. I was like, we have this really amazing man right here in South Carolina who could do these things. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for you.
Yes.
It's it's amazing it's amazing to see your work and how you are able to put things together.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I really think that God has given you a gift. Now, we're gonna go back to talking about some of the things that you have produced. You produced Chocolate Cinderella.
Correct.
Yes. And
Now, actually, I was the writer for that. So I actually wrote that play as well. So putting on Chocolate Cinderella, it was a piece that was written towards my daughter at the time. I wanted to, because a lot of times the Cinderella aspect is based off of, the father leaving, yada, yada, yada. But I wanted to base it off of, with Chocolate Cinderella, if the father stayed, but the father's slowly losing himself, and it's the daughter's power and her love and connection towards the father that helps to bring him back. So I want to really show what a strong bond between father and daughter, and what the resolve is between the two. Because I think oftentimes, especially in Disney, like, they kill our parents so often. So you don't really get to see relationships between parents, because they're literally gone in the first act of the film. Like, it is on YouTube, it's become like almost a meme, like, let's count and see how long the parent lasts in a Disney film. Like, it's like the total opposite. But I was like, man, it'd be awesome to really see like what that bond can do. So that's what it's based off of. And I would tell you this fall we're doing Snow White. So that's going to be awesome as well. We're in the beginning stages of that. We already set our date at Chapman, so that will be coming. Well, it will be a live version December 18th, I think. Either 18th or 17th is whatever that Saturday is in December. So we'll be doing Snow White then.
Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to see what you come up with. I bet it is going to be amazing. And with killing of characters, I'm an author. And so I think in one of my creative writing classes, we did talk about how to elicit emotions out of your readers. And so in my first book, I did kill off a character.
Was it the parent?
He was like a parent figure.
Oh.
You know what? Everybody was mad at me. People had it in the reviews. People were calling me, asking if I killed him. I got into so much trouble, even with my own family. And so I think maybe Disney does that to get people hooked, because then people wanted to read more, and then they wanted to know, even in my second book, they wanted to know if he was coming back, because some people said I should bring him back. And then I was thinking, okay, is he gonna come back as a ghost? I mean, how am I supposed to bring him back? And so I feel you on that. I can't wait to see what Snow White brings. It's I can't believe it's 24 minutes into this conversation already.
Yeah.
Oh, time is flying. Time is flying. Now tell me, how have you received millions of views on your socials for your productions?
It's really just grind and understanding the algorithm. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to social media, is literally knowing how to beat the algorithm. And they're constantly always changing. So sometimes I may have to place an ad behind a video. Sometimes, like around like this time around Father's Day, I don't really have to do too much with the ads because they're going to push themselves. And Facebook and Instagram sometimes will place small ads behind those, and especially YouTube. So it's understanding literally how to game that. And on the flip side of that, creating a community. I think sometimes as creators, we get so caught up in having all this content, but we don't really build a community that wants that said content. That's something that I've always been adamant about since 2007 when I started my journey on all of this, is literally building a community. And what's the crazy thing about it? You don't have to be this amazing person to engage and have a community. You just need to have a niche community, a base people of, 100 to 300 people that actually care about your stuff, because if they care about it, they share. They in return share to their communities, and what happens is more and more people watch things and engage within. So it starts with building in a community, and I think that's one thing that I have been successful on, is building my own niche community of like weird people that love weird things. I would say that.
Yeah, coming from an anime fan. Yeah, weird people love weird things. I feel you, because you know what? My third book, which is a children's book, came out not too long ago. And what happened was my network, some of them decided that they were going to have a picture of the book on one side and their face on the other and just share it on their social media. Before I knew it, it was a #1 book. It's been trending it came out on May 21st. It's been trending since. There are reviews all the way from India, Canada, UK. Wow. And it is the community that did it, because there's no big time advertising budget behind that. But when it comes to the algorithms, I may have to come take some lessons from you. On how to beat that algorithm, because you know how these people do sometimes.
It's always changing.
It is always changing. Now tell us about Steal a Chance and Choices Slipping Away, and of course Loved by a Ghost, before we move on to the next topic.
Loved by a Ghost was my first short film, and it actually will be my first narrative film. I have my first documentary that's coming out within the next couple of weeks. First documentary feature film that's coming in the next couple of weeks. But my actual narrative film is more so like dramatic, different things like that. If people don't understand the difference between a narrative and a documentary component, it's just keywords used within film. Not to get into all the weeds and everything, just using something just to gloss over it. So Love by Ghosts will be my first narrative film. Choices Slipping Away was a piece in response to everything that was happening within the Trayvon Martin situation that just impacted me as a writer, and that was the creation of Choices Slipping Away. The other one, what was the other one that you?
Steal a Chance.
Which one?
Steal a Chance.
Steal a Chance. Steal a Chance. Oh, okay. So Steal a Chance was not my idea. I was the director on Steal a Chance. Steal a Chance actually got submitted to 2 LA film festivals, which at the time was my first time getting into LA film festivals, which I was like, this is awesome. It's a boxing film about a football player that decided to take his energy and his anger into a different place. And he found a coach. So that's the start of that. The actual writer and the person that came up with the concept, his name is Marcus Middleton. He created that.
Wow, you've been working hard. How did it feel to be part of the LA Film Festival?
It was good. It was good. I didn't get it at the time. I didn't get to attend in person as I didn't have the funds at that time to get to LA, but they showed everything. He went. I didn't get to go, but but it was still amazing just to have the opportunity to be there.
It's still a badge of honor, Yes. You didn't get to go, but hey, your film made it there, and that's what counts. Smitha, we could talk we could go on and on and on. I cannot believe that our time is almost up. But you know what, viewers, listeners, hang in with us for a little bit longer because we want to know Father's Day is coming up this Sunday. What are
Uh-huh.
your views on fatherhood? And are you expecting any big gifts on Sunday?
I so I'm not a really big gift person, and my wife beats me up about that because I never know what I want. So I'm like, oh, something. I don't know. I don't. I never know what I want, which is should, but I'm not a hard person to please when it comes to that. But my grandfather called me today and asked me if I would go to church with him Sunday morning. That meant a lot to me. He was like, because he hasn't been to church, I would say, since maybe February of last year, because with the pandemic and everything, and church is starting to open up and everything. He has his vaccinations. He's been clear for a while. So he say, hey, I just want to go to church. And, can you take me? So that would be one of the first things that I'll be doing on Father's Day.
That's amazing. I read somewhere, I'm trying to remember, somebody said that they were talking about Father's Day with their spouse, and she asked the spouse, oh, I think it was Sister Satriva Dogan. she
Mm-hmm.
she asked her spouse about if they get all excited about Father's Day, like how Mother's Day, we're all about the brunch and the whatnots. And the answer that she got kind of told her that she should do better. Because when I was growing up, back then we used to have collect calls, and they said Father's Day was the day that people made collect calls because that's what people would be calling their daddies. But then they wouldn't even call them directly. So I think that fathers, it's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
Fathers do so much. And what are your thoughts as an African American dad? What are
Mm-hmm.
your thoughts on fatherhood?
My thoughts on fatherhood is that to every foundational piece when it comes to civilization, it always starts off with that mom and dad. And till this day, I still believe that, it takes those two individuals with a strong bond to kind of create a strong foundation for that child. You need both. You need that masculine and feminine energy there to help raise a child, a balanced child, to understand both viewpoints. So I'm a believer in, yeah, you need the father there. You need that father figure. It's very important. Very, very important. And even growing up, like if it wasn't for, my father, my stepdad, my grandfather, my uncles, I would not be the individual that I am now without that. I grew up starting off, with a single mom, but my mom made sure that I had father figures that were there to support me. So I think it's imperative.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Now, you know that with our podcast, when we need a snippet, we're going to make sure we use that sound bite because I loved hearing that from you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on fatherhood. And now to wrap up, we all know what the news says about Juneteenth.
Yeah.
You want to tell us your feelings on Juneteenth and how you are going to commemorate this weekend?
I'm just happy that we finally get a day that we can really celebrate, what should have been celebrated a long time ago. The actual liberation of our people. Yes, July 4th happened, but July 4th didn't happen for us. So it's awesome to see that we finally have that, opportunity. Yes, we've been celebrating it for the longest, oftentimes on the weekend and different things like that. But honestly, I think it should be something like, Black History, where it's the entire month we're celebrating, what it took to get to this point. And we still have so much to do, so many battles to overcome still. But I think this is just a start. And I look forward to what, individuals do for next year, since it's the actual federal holiday, especially when it comes to colleges, because that's really going to be interesting. Because I'm a I work for Wofford College as well, professor and career advisor. So I look forward to see what a lot of colleges are going to do with that day.
Yes, we look forward to what's going to happen. It was surreal watching Vice President Kamala Harris speak on TV about the federal holiday. It was like the first African American vice president actually speaking on Juneteenth, being declared a federal holiday. It was history in history.
Right.
Did I say it right? Like history.
Yeah. You did. You did.
Yes. It is amazing. It's been a long time coming, though. I don't know why it took this long. But the struggle continues. The fight for equity continues, and we just don't give up. And we want the best for the generations that come after us.
Correct.
So, how are you going to be celebrating this weekend? Do you have any plans?
Well, we have the production that's happening this weekend.
Oh, yes.
On top of it's Father's Day weekend. So, yeah, it's going to be a long weekend for me. Long weekend celebration.
It is going to be a long and productive weekend for you. This has just been an amazing conversation. There is more to cover. But time is not on our side. Now, viewers, listeners, go to Smitha's website, smithalee.com, to learn more about him. You don't just get to book your photography sessions, but you can learn about his work. For his upcoming play this weekend, go to barefruitssc.com if you're in the upstate area, so you can purchase a ticket. I promise you are not going to regret, because his other productions have been fire. And if you need a photo session, this is your guy. Go on that website. You're going to see that Barbie picture and be like, okay, I'm going to create my own magazine, and this guy is going to hook me up. Now, before we go, do you have any words of inspiration for our listeners and viewers?
I would say the thing that's always been taught to me, forward, always forward. That's the only thing that matters. No matter if, oftentimes we get caught into the distractions of looking left and right, but oftentimes we just need to march forward. So say that. Keep going forward.
Yes, keep going forward indeed. Thank you for those powerful words. Now, viewers, listeners, my name is Margie March. I come to you on Thursday evenings to talk about everyday issues that impact humans. I am the author of The Shimmer Grant and Same Elephants. Recently, I published my newest book, my first children's book, Sasha Goes to America. Find me in your closest bookstore, your independent bookstore, online, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, everywhere books are sold. Check me out. Humanity Chats is a conversation about everyday issues that impact humans. We are thankful to our sponsors, Innovation Abound. Thank you so much to all our supporting crew for putting everything together. And most of all, thanks to you, the audience, the listeners, for coming back week after week. As Smitha said, we need our tribe to support us. Yes. And so without you, there is no show. You are the reason why we're here, and we're happy to bring you topics that you want to learn about. But if you're watching this man here today, please spread the word. If you're in the upstate area, support his work. Tell somebody else about him. He's going places, and you don't want to wait. Tell me, you do not want to wait for him to become the next Ryan Coogler before you say that, oh, I know Smitha. You want to know him now. So check him out. Go to smithalee.com. Follow him on his socials. And you know what's going to happen? We are jumping onto Instagram after this conversation to continue there. And so find us. Come there. Thank you for watching and for listening. We look forward to seeing you next week, where we're going to learn about being Black in Minnesota. And we're also going to be talking about Africa. And so don't miss that episode. Subscribe to our Margie TV YouTube. Go on that podcast. Listen to the other episodes. And from Smitha and myself, we say good night.